Saint Augustine, commentary on the Gospel of John, chapter 5, verse 19 following. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all things that himself does. Here is that shows as it were, to whom? Of course, as to one that sees. We return to that which we can't explain, how the Word sees. Behold, man was made by the Word, but man has eyes, ears, hands, diverse members in the body. He is able by the eyes to see, by the ears to hear, by the hands to work. The members are diverse, their offices diverse. One member can't do the office of another, yet by reason of the unity of the body, the eye sees both for itself and for the ear, and the ear hears for itself and for the eye. Are we to suppose that something like this holds good in the Word, seeing all things are by Him, and Scripture has said in the Psalm, "Understand, you brutish among the people, and you fools at length, be wise." He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? And he that formed the eye, shall he not see? Psalm 94, verse 8 and 9. Hence, if the Word is he that formed the eye, for all things are by the Word. If the Word is he that planted the ear, for all things are by the Word, we can say the Word does not hear, the Word does not see, lest the psalm reprove us and say, "Fools at length be wise." Therefore, if the Word hears and sees, if the Son hears and sees, are we yet to search for eyes and ears in Him, in separate places? Does He by one part hear, by another see, and can't His ear do what His eye does, and can't His eye do what His ear can? Or is He not all sight, all hearing? Perhaps yes. Nay, not perhaps, but truly yes. While, however, that seeing of His and that hearing of His is in a way far other than it is with us. Both to see and to hear exist together in the Word. Seeing and hearing are not diverse things in Him, but hearing is sight and sight is hearing. And we who see in one way and hear in another way, how know we this? We return perhaps to ourselves, if we are not the transgressors to whom it is said, "Return, O transgressors, to your heart." Isaiah chapter 46, verse 8. Return to your heart. Why go from yourselves and perish from yourselves? Why go the ways of solitude? You go astray by wandering. Return you, whither? To the Lord. It's quickly done. First return to your own heart. You have wandered abroad and exiled from yourself. You know not yourself, and yet you are asking by whom you were made. Return to your heart. Lift yourself away from the body. Your body is your place of abode. Your heart perceives even by your body. But your body is not what your heart is. Leave even your body, return to your heart. In your body you did find eyes in one place, ears in another place. Do you find this in your heart? Or have you not ears in your heart? Else of what did the Lord say, "Whoso has ears to hear, let him hear"? Luke chapter 8, verse 8. Or have you not eyes in your heart? Else of what says the Apostle, the eyes of your heart being enlightened. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 18. Return to your heart, see there what it may be you can perceive of God, for in it is the image of God. In the inner man dwells Christ, in the inner man are you renewed after the image of God, in his own image recognize its author. See how all the senses of the body bring intelligence to the heart within of what they have perceived abroad. See how many ministers the one commander within has and what it can do by itself even without these ministers. The eyes report to the heart things black and white. The ears report to the same heart pleasant and harsh sounds. To the same heart the nostrils announce sweet odors and stenches. To the same heart the taste announces things bitter and sweet. To the same heart the touch announces things smooth and rough. And the heart declares to itself things just and unjust. Your heart sees and hears and judges all other things perceived by the senses. And what the senses do not aspire to discerns things just and unjust, things evil and good. Show me the eyes, ears, nostrils of your heart. Diverse are the things that are referred to your heart, yet are these not diverse members there. In your flesh you hear in one place, see in another. In your heart, where you see, there you hear. If this be the image, how much more mightily he whose the image is. Therefore, the Son both hears and sees. The Son is both the hearing itself and the seeing. To hear is to him the same thing as to be, and to see is to him the same thing as to be. To see is not the same thing to you as to be, for if you lose your sight, you can be, and if you lose your hearing, you can be. Do we think we have knocked? Is there raised up within us something whereby we may even slightly conjecture whence light may come to us? It is my opinion, brethren, that when we speak of these things and meditate upon them, we are exercising ourselves. And when we are exercising ourselves and are, as it were, bent back again by our own weight to our customary thoughts, we are like weak-eyed persons when they are brought forth to see the light, if perchance they had no sight at all before, and begin in some sort to recover their sight by the assiduous care of physicians. And when the physician would test the progress of recovery, he tries to show them something which they sought to see, but could not while they were blind. And while the eyesight is now somewhat recovered, they are brought forth to the light. And as they see it, are beaten back in a manner by the very glare, and they answer the physician as he points out the object. This moment I did see, but now I can't. What then does the physician? He brings them back to their usual ways and applies the eye salve to nourish the longing for seeing that which was seen only for a moment, so that by the very longing he may cure more completely. And if any stinging salves are applied for the recovery of soundness, let the patient bear it bravely. And inflamed with love of the light, say to himself, when will it be that with strong eyes I shall see what with sore and weak eyes I could not? He urges the physician and begs him to heal him. Therefore, brethren, if it may be something like this has taken place in your hearts, If somehow you have raised your heart to see the word, and beaten back by its light, you have fallen back to your wonted ways. Pray the physician to apply sharp salves, the precept of righteousness. There is that which you may see, but not that whereby you can see. You did not believe me before that there is that which you may see. You are now, as by the guidance of reason, brought to it. You have drawn near, strained your eyes to see it, throbbed and shrank back. You know for certain that there is what you may see, but that you are not yet meet to see it. Therefore, be healed. What are the eye salves? Do not lie, do not swear falsely, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not defraud. But you are used to these, and it is with some pain you are drawn away from old habits. This is what bites, but yet heals. For I tell you freely, by fear of myself and of you, if you give up the healing and scorn to become meet to enjoy this light, by weakness of your eyes, you will love darkness, and by loving darkness will remain in darkness. And by remaining in darkness will be cast even into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. If the love of light has effected nothing in you, let the fear of pain effect something. I think I have spoken long enough, and yet I have not concluded the gospel lesson. If I go on to declare what remains, I shall burden you, and I fear lest even what has been drawn may be lost. Therefore, let this be enough for you now, beloved. We are debtors, not now, but always as long as we live, because we live for you. However, do you, by good living, comfort this life of ours, so weak, toilsome, and full of peril in this world. Do not afflict and wear us out by your evil manners. For if, when offended with your evil life, we flee from you and separate ourselves from you, and no longer come to you, will you not complain and say, and if we were sick, you might care for us, and if we were weak, you might have visited us? Behold, we do care for you. Behold, we do visit you. But let it not be with us as you have heard from the apostle. I fear lest I have bestowed labor upon you in vain. Galatians chapter 4 verse 11.